Abigail Williams, left, at age 13, and Liberty German, right, at age 14, in 2017, in rural Delphi, Indiana. The whistleblower who supplied these to me is likely behind one of the numerous anonymous accounts that have been in touch with journalists, YouTubers, and true crime podcasters recently in an effort to get these exclusive images published. I'm a reporter who occasionally covers real crime tales, so it stands to reason that I'd be intrigued. In this context, Delphi refers to the killings, the town, the investigation, and the internet community of true crime fans following it, all of which are incredibly complicated and impossible to summarize in a single sentence. It's too vast, too terrible, too complicated, and too tangled to put into words. Of the recent big crimes, only Delphi has spawned a full-fledged true crime ecosystem of communities, all of whom seek justice for two murdered girls but find themselves in conflict with one another. You can see how it may grow to be so large and intricate. This case had all the makings of a viral sensation, with photos and recordings of the suspect being released to the public almost immediately. Delphi has been a disturbing mystery for 6 years, with 2 witness sketches, a long chain of hotly debated suspects, multiple side investigations into different crimes, a massive online sideshow, and one strangely unsatisfying arrest of a local man who made himself known to police on the very first day. Despite how challenging it may be, you should try staring directly at Delphi. This case is important not only because of the intricate web of relationships that have grown up around it, but also because in all its muddled glory, it offers a glimpse into the murky future of true crime. Abby Williams and her best friend, Libby German, went hiking together on a lovely Monday afternoon in February 2017. They had requested German's older sister to take them there. Grandma said that German and her older sister spent a lot of time at the bridge, hiking and taking pictures. So it was no great deal for the older sister to drop off her younger sisters at around 2:00 p.m. to 0 p.m. and go on her way. After finishing all his afternoon errands, German's dad planned to pick them up. German turned around and snapped numerous shots of the girls crossing the bridge, including one of Williams looking where she was walking. The girls continued their trek to the southeast end of the bridge, where the trail effectively terminates and disappears into the underbrush. A hefty man in a blue coat and jeans could be seen fleetingly on German's camera as he walked along the bridge toward them. What had begun as conjecture grew with intensity as German kept recording. One of them, most likely Williams, mumbled "gun" as the man approached, as evidenced by an arrest affidavit from 2022. There was no route back across the bridge, and the girls were effectively cornered between the man and the woods. After these statements, the girls appear to be marched to their deaths on camera for 43 seconds of near stillness, as proven by a search warrant from 2017 that was declassified in 2022. The girls were probably already taken by the time German's father allegedly called her at 3:11 p.m. to say he was on his way to bring them up. Within minutes of German and Williams going missing, their families had organized search parties. On that particular day, the High Bridge Trail saw a large number of hikers. On that same afternoon, several of them came forward, but none of them said they had seen what happened to Williams and German. On Valentine's Day 2017 at midday, the girls were discovered sleeping across some private land by the creek, a half-mile from the bridge. Details of what happened to them are gruesome and unusual, but they have not been confirmed by officials. Some of those in charge think the bodies may have been moved and staged. This has led some to speculate that after the initial searches on the 13th were called off for the evening, the girls were dumped in the creek. On February 22nd, authorities revealed a clip in which the suspect's muffled voice can be heard saying, "Down the hill." At the press conference, officials acknowledged that German's smartphone had recorded the conversation, and they hailed her as a hero for having the initiative to do so. Further evidence from the phone had been recovered, according to the police, but they would not go further so as not to compromise any future trial. At this point in time, the reward for solving this case had already reached $41,000. The police released a composite sketch of a person of interest in the murders on July 17th. A hiker who was on the Delphi historic trails the day the girls disappeared provided the information used to construct the sketch. Indiana State Police have released a fresh sketch of the suspect and audio and video recordings of the suspect's movements on a bridge, along with an email tip line after announced. Seeing a new direction in the investigation on April 22, 2019. According to the investigators, the suspect was probably a local to the Delphi area in some capacity, whether as a resident, a worker, or a tourist. The driver of a car that was left abandoned on Hoosier Heartland Highway in Delphi, near the site of the former Child Services Office, between 1 and 5 p.m. on the day of the murders, was also sought after in an extra appeal for information. On July 23, 2019, additional suspects in the deaths of Williams and German were named by Carroll County Sheriff Tobe Leesenby, including a man wanted for kidnapping and rape in Tippecanoe County. The suspect committed suicide a month before his arrest. On April 27, 2021, officers from the Indiana State Police announced the identification of a new person of interest in the April 2021 murders in Delphi, Richard Allen. Richard Allen, who is wanted for questioning in connection with the 2017 murders in Delphi, has said that he is being treated like a prisoner of war while in custody. Mr. Allen's attorneys claim in an emergency motion filed in an Indiana court on Wednesday that the accused killer's conditions at Westville Correctional Facility are worse than if he had been convicted of a crime, and that this is leading to a steep decline in his physical and mental health. The former CVS employee is reportedly being confined in a cell no larger than that of a dog kennel and is being made to sleep on a pad on the cold concrete floor. His lawyers claim that he has been denied visits from his family, is only allowed to take showers once or twice a week, and has been forced to wear the same clothes for days on end. The legal representation for Mr. Allen has requested that he be transferred from Westville Correctional Facility to Cass County Jail on the grounds that he will benefit from increased access to his family and counsel. Since his arrest in October for the high-profile murders of Libby German and Abby Williams, a local Delphi man, now 50 years old, has been detained in the maximum security jail. The motion claims that the Carroll County Sheriff's Office has resisted the request to relocate him despite the fact that prosecutors have not raised any objections. An attempt to impose conditions upon him that are intended to frustrate his purpose in defending against the charged allegations and create a hardship on him that would drive any human to mental breakdown, according to Mr. Allen's legal team, is what the denial amounts to. According to the document, during an interview with police on October 13th, Mr. Allen stated that he had no explanation for how the spent bullet came to be near the bodies of the two young victims. According to the suspected murderer, he had no explanation as to why a round cycled through his firearm would be at that location, and he had not been on the property where the unspent round was found. The landowner, Ron Logan, had also been linked to the investigation before. In the year 2020, he sadly passed away. Documents further link Mr. Allen to the murders because his car was seen parked near the trail in an odd manner, as if to conceal the license plate. After the married father of a daughter admitted to being on the trail the day the girls were killed in 2017, he was put on law enforcement's radar. Mr. Allen told authorities in 2017 that he had been on the Monon High Bridge Trail that afternoon, but that he had never seen the two girls or had anything to do with the murders. A clerical error allowed him to escape detection despite the fact that he had placed himself at the murder site at the time of the killings. A huge break in the investigation occurred when the local man was unexpectedly arrested nearly 6 years after the murders. However, authorities have stated that they do not consider Mr. Allen to be the sole suspect in the murders, and that the investigation is far from complete. Before Mr. Allen's arrest, detectives had been trying to piece together details about a catfishing account that had been in touch with Libby on the day she was murdered. This is the end of this video, EM. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe to this channel.